Edwards. I'm a third-year law student here at Harvard.
And I'm going to write it down so we make sure that Tavis and Cornell know what your questions are, since they're going to hear them together.
Dr. West just talked about a moment of awakening. And one moment of awakening that I think is particularly relevant to the American public and the Black community was the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. That highlights issues of education and disparity beyond comprehension for many Americans in the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans and other regions in the Gulf Coast and just the inner cities in general. My question to you is, how can we take this discourse that we're trying to promulgate and set forth in the Black community to both those who are empowered already and those who are advantaged, as well as those who don't have means and who are working class? How do we take that and also infuse a sense of persistence that would resemble that of the past, that the civil rights movement, for example, was not just about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. It spanned many, many years, many, many wins, many, many losses. How do we invoke that into our community in terms of understanding the need for persistence when we talk about social responsibility?
So if I could just restate your question as I hear it, for the benefit, you're in some ways asking the same question that I asked originally, which is, how do you build a strong community that doesn't focus simply on the leaders, but on the community itself? How do you use the democratic awakening to invigorate a community response?
Yeah, one that will be longstanding, yes.
Okay. Chris.
Okay, my name is Chris Drake. I'm also a third-year law student here at Harvard. And let me see if I can just tailor my question a little bit to Amanda's question a minute ago. I'd like to kind of go back to the statement that love wins that we heard early on in the remarks tonight. And, you know, I thought about that for a second. I thought, well, so the Black community is winning in some ways, but in a lot of other areas, you know, we're not winning, and there's a lot more that we could do. And maybe part of the problem is not necessarily that our love isn't going outward, but that it's not going inward. And in other words, we're not loving ourselves the way that we should be or the way that we could be. So the two parts to my question would be these. If
okay, now wait. One question.
Okay. I mean, it is one question. This has got, you know, two little branches.
No. One question.
Okay, one question. Okay. Got it. Okay, I got it.
Because we have to make room. Well, Chris, let me give you you think about what the one question is, right?
No, I got it.
And it's a one question you can say in one sentence, maybe two.
Okay.
And the gentleman in the back, have you come up with your one question? Okay, just want to give you a chance to, one of you to take the microphone while Chris is formulating his one question.
Okay. So the question is this. What is the right way to love ourselves, and how can we make sure that that right way gets spread around the Black community as widely as possible?
Okay, excellent. Okay? Okay, and so we're going to connect Chris and Amanda's question, right? What is the right way to love ourselves, and how can we spread that around as part of a democratic awakening so that the community is persistent in loving each other?
Now, before I take the first stab at this, I'd really be impressed, Professor Grenier, if you could take this last question and weave it. Let's see how good you really are. Take this last question and weave it in, and then we'll answer all of it at one time. See if you can read this last one. Since you all there.
Okay, now who are you speaking for?
The whole group.
I know, I want to know all their names.
Yeah. My name is Phil Rice, and I'm at Harvard Med School. I'm one of the instructors.
Okay, Phil Rice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the non-Peril Hilario. I wanted to share something.
Wait, what's your name?
The non-Peril Hilario.
Okay.
I am a hip-hop artist, and I wanted to share something with Mr. West and Tavis.
You can do that afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
And the gentleman behind you?
My name is Hayden Frederick Clark. I'm a geometry teacher at Dorchester High School. So
Wait.
sorry.
There's another gentleman.
My name is Jonathan Wilkins. I'm a dual degree student with the business school and the divinity school.
Okay, now which one of you is speaking for the other four, or the other three? Okay.
I'm going to try and incorporate everyone's
That's good.
opinions and views, everything we politicked about in the back. As I looked around the room, just making a rough guesstimate, most of the people here are middle-aged, college educated, I surmise. My students need to hear this. Unfortunately, most of my students would never make it through your text or your text. I could make it through, given college education and Webster's dictionary, everything else. But the guys I grew up with from the neighborhood that are selling the drugs, busting their gun, doing whatever, who aren't as fortunate as I to be in a position that I am, also need to hear this. So what I wanted to know is, we're still in the ivory tower, so to speak. How do we bring this discourse to the streets, to the everyday people, to the blues people, and so on?
Thank you.
Thank you.